Is Fallout 76 going free to play? I'm pretty sure at least some of you will actually be upset I'm making this video, which is kind of an odd concept to me. This has no doubt popped up as a topic of discussion in the community as of late, with certain posts getting thousands of upvotes, and even though that author said it was more of a social experiment, I still think it is a conversation worth having, and even beyond that, I think my stance on this and my take on it might surprise you a little bit. In this video, what I'm going to do is put out all of the evidence for why I think Fallout 76 may go free or may not go free, or what I actually think will happen, and hopefully just going forward, you could stay informed on this topic. And to be clear, with this video, it's more of an opinion piece, it's speculation about the future. Bethesda hasn't said one way or the other whether the game is going to be free to play or stayed as a paid game. So why am I even talking about this? Why is the idea of Fallout 76 going free to play even out there right now? I would say one of the biggest causes of this are the pretty significant sales we saw on this game. Just 1 week after release for Black Friday, you saw it for $20 off or even more at some retailers. On one side of the aisle, you had people arguing that, oh, it must be because the game is selling horribly, that's why it's going on sale so quickly. On the other side, just saying, no, it's Black Friday, of course it's going to be on sale. Well, the fact that the game has yet again gone on sale at pretty much all retailers, including Amazon, Xbox, PlayStation, and even Bethesda themselves, this time you can get it for $20 off, and I'm not really sure what we're celebrating now, but it's already been like this for a couple of days, and there's no explicit end date, or at least I couldn't find one. This secondary sale, coupled with just some of the main features of the game, is making it seem like to a lot of users that free-to-play could be an option. They also have touted numerous times that Fallout 76 is going to be a game as a service. It's going to get continuous free DLCs and make their money through microtransactions. With that in mind, let's actually compare this to other free-to-play games. What does Fallout 76 have versus what do they have? Almost every free-to-play game at this point has this thing known as Metacurrency. It's pretty much only used for scummy purposes. It's basically so you have to buy a bundle of points in order to actually purchase whatever you want. This serves two roles. First and foremost, things are sold in bundles, so you get more incentive for buying those larger bundles. People see those bonus points and they're like, oh, maybe I'll buy that one. Plus, if you want something that's $8, you're going to have to buy the $10 bundle at minimum. And even beyond that, the psychological component, it kind of removes you from the money. Then, of course, we do have Cosmetic Microtransactions, something that's pretty much present in every free-to-play game nowadays. For many of these, it has both a paid route through that Metacurrency, but also a free route of actually getting some of those skins or weapon skins, whatever it may be. And then finally, Lootboxes, another one that's present in almost all of these. And I think that's the second point I want to make as to why this topic has really been brought up about Fallout 76. In this latest update in the game, behind the scenes, there was a bunch of file name changes and seemingly progress made on these things known as lunchboxes. They've been present in the files for a while. I've talked about them numerous times on this channel at this point, and based on some of the file listings, it seems like this will be something that's in the Atomic Shop based on the heading it does have, that of ATX. Everything else that does have this ATX heading is in the Atomic Shop, but even beyond that, it seems like after opening these, it'll give you various benefits such as a mutation for a limited time, or even increased damage, increased XP, more rad resist. And in other words, you'll get one of these lunchboxes, open it at random, and get one of those benefits. To me, that looks like the third pillar of the free-to-play model. And if you actually compare free-to-play games to Fallout 76, there's a lot of similarities there. And I think it's pretty obvious as to why people are making these comparisons, why people are talking about a free-to-play Fallout 76. Now, I don't totally agree with that. I don't think Fallout 76 is just going to be free to play, but I think people are onto something here. One of the big talking points around Fallout 76 before it came out was that it would be a game that lasts forever. This was talked about in numerous interviews, typically along with the factor that it would be a game as a service with free DLC. I think most of us kind of rolled our eyes at that. Obviously, it won't be around forever, but I think if you actually look at the climate, it could be around for a while. We know on Bethesda's release schedule, they have at least 2 more games coming out before they even start development of the next Fallout game. That was Starfield and The Elder Scrolls 6. It's been cited in interviews in the past that each of those is going to take the typical amount of time, that being 3 or so years, so the next Fallout is at earliest 7 or 8 years away. In order for Fallout fans to get their fix, they're going to probably have to rely on Fallout 76 or going back to some of the even older games. And honestly, Bethesda already does this with Fallout Shelter. It's a game that came out 3 years ago and consistently gets updates, it gets sales, things like that. Bethesda is always advertising it on their Twitter account. So even though I don't think Fallout 76 is going free to play anytime soon, I think if you actually look at the game and look at what Bethesda has been doing with some of their other games, including Fallout Shelter and even Creation Club, the initial cost of Fallout 76 will continuously go downward, and you're going to see microtransactions being a larger and larger part of what actually drives their revenue. revenue. And honestly, it kind of makes a lot of sense even from their perspective. Fallout 76 had a horrible release, probably one of the worst game releases as far as AAA games go of 2018. It was surrounded by controversy, bad press, and even bad reviews. Many would agree with the fact that it was released as a unfinished game. But maybe a few months down the line, Bethesda gets all of those bugs fixed. In a month or two, they start releasing the first or second DLC, and they significantly lower the price while introducing more and additional microtransactions. A lot of people that heard about this game on release that were part of that initial bad news cycle may have it in their heads that they'll never touch this game at $60, $40, or even $30. But maybe they'll see it on sale for $15, hear it just got a new free DLC, and be like, you know what, I'll give it a shot. Invariably, some of those players would end up spending additional real money on the game through the form of microtransactions and buying items. And I think you can kind of see how this model could work for Fallout 76. That bad taste is going to be left in a lot of people's mouths, and one of the way they could kind of get around that is through a lower initial price, but then getting people to spend more money on the game over the long term. Numerous games have taken this route. I think Rainbow Six Siege is one of the best examples of somebody doing this successfully. You can get the base game for fairly cheap, but you don't get access to all of the content. Then over time, as you play it and get more and more addicted, you do want to spend more money on it, and the cycle does continue. Something other games have also done is opt-in events. So basically there's a holiday event, maybe you have to buy a $2 ticket to get in, but you also get a ton of really good prizes and exclusive or timed content. I wouldn't be shocked if Fallout 76 also goes that route a year down the road. So now I'm not saying Fallout 76 is going free to play in the next couple of months, but what I wouldn't be shocked to see is a significant price cut fairly soon. Like maybe in Q1 or Q2 of 2019, the game is retailing for $30 on average. But with that, you also get additional ways to spend money on the game and maybe a half decent game. A lot of the bugs are gone and they add in some new content through DLCs. And to be frank, if I was putting money to actually bet on this, I would say that's probably what's going to happen. Maybe a year and a half down the line, the game eventually ends up being free and just completely goes for that model. So even though I don't really agree with the statement that Fallout 76 is going free to play in the short term, I definitely think it's a model they're going to keep their eye on and something they're going to continuously work towards, because it honestly has a lot of benefits for a game like this and how it released. Obviously, this is just my own personal opinion on this. This again is a very opinionated video. I tried to provide facts for my thoughts, but you might just disagree with me, and that's okay. I thought it'd be an interesting topic to talk about, and I'd love to hear some of your guys' perspectives in the comments down below. I'm not necessarily saying this is the right choice for Fallout 76, it just is one of the potential choices that I personally view as pretty likely.